he's a leader who is excited to be a part of the Kansas City community and to make Kansas City his home. And so Dr. Bedell.
On April 4th, 2016, the school district welcomed Dr. Mark T. Bedell to be the new leader.
It is an honor, and I mean that to the core of my heart, to have this opportunity to come to Kansas City and to continue to lead the work that has already occurred.
I think he is exactly what this district needs. I'm excited for our students and for our community by having Dr. Bedell, but it took some time to find him.
It took the Board of Education almost a year to find the right man for the job. During that time, KCPS Chief Financial Officer Al Tunis was chosen to lead a group of his peers. He says the team's goal was to continue to climb the stairway of success that they've seen the last few years.
We were at a point where we were financially stable. We were at a point where academically our students were making progress. Our climate and our culture in our schools and our school buildings was improving every day with the hard work our principals were putting in. And during that period of time, it was imperative that we maintain that level of stability for our students and our community. And I was given that opportunity to jump in and maintain that level of consistency. And I think that after this year, I'm very pleased to look back and to say I think we did that.
One of the moves made to maintain stability was actually a district first.
We created the academic plan. The district had never had one. But without a superintendent to set his SMART goals, to set the district goals aligned to board policy, immediately I knew that something needed to be in place to keep the focus.
Keeping an academic focus was even more important when you consider the fact that the school district was discussing changes at almost every level.
The most significant piece of what we were able to do during this year deals with engaging our community in literally a community-wide decision about our school district and what we want our school district to look like and what we want to make available for our students.
Every kid across the system exactly the same way.
That was known as the master plan, and it truly was a community discussion. The district held meetings, forums, made phone calls, sent emails, newsletters, text messages, and much more, all in an effort to get feedback on how to move KCPS forward.
I will tell you that I don't recall during this past year that I ever thought or heard anyone say we didn't need to do anything. I think everyone felt we needed to do something.
Mr. Tunis really wanted to see us continue to have the academic focus, but he also knew that we were not being efficient in what we were doing with buildings. He knew that our capacity in some areas was too low.
So over the last few months, we've met with families, students, and staff at both Southwest and AC Prep.
To improve efficiencies and to enhance academic achievement, the administration proposed sweeping changes that would save the school district more than $8 million. That $8 million would go directly to the creation of a new school feeder system, facility improvements in almost every building, and most importantly, academic enhancement.
Yes, all in 1 year, while the ship's still going downstream and supporting buildings and supporting our teachers and our parents, and teaching and learning taking place. That is the work that we've been doing.
All this work was done for one reason.
We want our students to be well-rounded and to have every opportunity and every experience every other high school student would have in our area.
Well, those improvements come at a cost. To save $700,000 annually, the Board of Education building was moved from 1211 McGee to 29th and Truce. The closing of Wendell Phillips and Page will save the district $3.5 million. And the district will have $2.5 million to put into academic programs as a result of closing Southwest High School.
I think that was a really, really tough, hard decision to make, and one that many people weighed in on in terms of the best alternative.
Change is something we don't all like to do. I mean, right now, many of us are in the middle of packing up our offices and shifting when we all just want to be comfortable and mapping out summer professional development, hiring our teachers and getting everything in place. We don't want to be in boxes, but we know the change is for the better. And so you constantly are going to change or you become stagnant.
These students could walk up to 6 blocks.
All of that change surrounding the master plan and transition plan is only a part of what the administration tackled this year. Also on the list, a bond issuance of $53 million that will be used to improve district facilities and bring them up to standard.
There is something in that $53 million for all of our schools, but again, it's still not everything that we need.
8 of the buildings that were closed in the past went under contract this year.
With a lot of work with our repurposing department in order to do that, a lot of work in our community as a whole, because we bring in neighborhood groups, we sit down together, we make sure that what we're going to do and what we're going to provide is exactly what the community wants to see happen within that building.
KCPS obtained a grant to renovate the outdoor athletic facility at Northeast and another grant for new Americans who enter our school district.
And so we know we've got a lot of students who come to our district and they don't speak English, and their families in their homes, they don't speak English either. So we want to make sure that those students have an opportunity to get a good start here in the United States and certainly here in Kansas City.
The changes didn't stop there, though. To improve college and career readiness, new and improved programs were introduced at Manual Career and Technical Center. Through the Early College Academy, 38 students graduated from their home high school and from Penn Valley with an associate's degree in the same week. Other positives from this past year include the stabilization of district enrollment and the improvement of school culture.
And I think that we have a staff, administrative, teaching staff, security staff, food service staff, custodial staff working very, very hard to be role models for our students, to develop a culture where students want to be. They want to be in school.
How do I say goodbye?
Not everything was positive this year. The administration also had to deal with tragedy. We lost one teacher, one administrator, and several students.
I really want to remember one case where a young man who I've counseled with before I even came to the district, and this young man was going to East. He was supposed to graduate last year. Actually this year. He was supposed to graduate this year, but he was gunned down at a convenience store on Independence Avenue. And trauma affects everyone, and if it affected me, I know that it's affecting the young minds of this community, especially at the school.
It almost just rips your heart when you keep seeing the tragedy, and it is part of life. We know that, but it doesn't make it any easier. And sometimes you want to just say every day's about academics, every day's about formative assessments, every day's about knowing exactly where the kids are and where we're going to move them to. But sometimes you have to pause and take care of the social and emotional piece. And the district really rallied together. Everybody came together, even our legal office. Mr. Salzi and his team would go out just to support and walk around and check in with students and check in with teachers. The loss of our principal from Banneker, Alvaretta, was devastating to a lot of us who had gotten close to her. And the staff knows that we rally. It's what we do. We rally for kids.
Coming together really sums up the 2015-2016 school year. The relationships, both within the cabinet and between the administration and school board, is what gives Tunis the greatest amount of pride.
There's a lot of things that you can see that we've been able to accomplish that are measurable. You can talk about the number of schools we've sold, the the improvements that we're making, the redirecting of resources to better serve our students, the improvements in academic achievement that we're seeing on the part of our students. One of the things that's hard to see is the relationship that exists with the administration and the Board of Education. The ability this past year for our board and administration to work together for a common goal has, in my opinion, been one of maybe the greatest accomplishments that we've made.
The relationship that I've seen with the cabinet a lot of times in past has fallen apart when your leader leaves. And we've stuck together as a team. I can remember the first meeting after Dr. Green left. We all committed. In fact, if you read the academic plan, it says we are committed to staying the course, energizing our staff members. We're committed to the work, and that made a world of difference to see everyone around that table say they are committed. And the relationships this year of how we've supported each other, I could call any one of them at any time to assist us with something going on at a school or any type of event, and they were there.
When reflecting back, it's those relationships that made the grind of this school year worth it.
This is not a one-person job, and there are a lot of folks that work really, really hard to accomplish what this district has accomplished. And I think that, again, regardless of whether you're a Board of Education member, whether you're a colleague of mine, I think our goals are the same. We're in tune, we're in line, we're working together. And so my role as the interim superintendent didn't do this. This team of people did it. And I know that to a certain extent that's somewhat of a cliche, but in reality, it's the truth. This job's too big. We use the term that it takes a village to raise a child, and it does. And we have a board, we have administration, we have teachers, we have food service workers, custodians. We have a group of people in this district with families and parents who are working very, very hard for this district to be the best it can be. And we're seeing and reaping the benefits from that. And I think I'm a part of it. And I've been given the opportunity to be a part of it, and I'm grateful for that.
And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you